Hello! I'm going to show you how to use a handsaw to cut your square dowels down to length. So you're going to need a number of things here. Of course, cutting with the saw, you want to protect your eyes, you want to put on your safety glasses, pencil. You'll need one of these hand saws. Be very careful with these because they are expensive saws. You want to get the one that says Crosscut because you're going to be cross-cutting the wood. You need a ruler that's long enough. You have an 18-inch ruler. A square helps to draw some straight lines, and then of course your dowels that you're going to cut up. So your end goal is to end up with a dowel, 4 dowels that are the length that is the height of your wood. And then you'll also need this right here. This is called a bench hook. This is going to help me cut square when I cut these up. So I'm going to set this out of the way. Be very careful with this not to bump it against any metal because you will chip the teeth on it, so be very careful with that saw. Alright, I am making a lamp that is 14.5 inches tall. So what I'm going to do is I am going to first start by just using the square to draw a line on the end here. I'm going to cut this off just to make sure that this is cut square and the end of the board might have wax on it, or we're not sure if it's 90 degrees. So that's going to be my first line. And then my next one, I'm going to set that at 0. I'm going to measure over to 14.5 inches and as carefully as I can mark a little line on there, as you can see. Then I'm going to use my square to draw a line there. So now I know that between the first line and the second line, that is exactly 14.5 inches. Now I'm ready to make some cuts. I'm going to start by cutting the end of this off first. So notice my bench hook has a hook on here. This one is both for right-handed and for left-handed people. So if you're right-handed, you want this to be right-handed up because I'm going to cut on the right side with my right hand. I'm going to put my wood here against this. You can think of that as being like a fence. And then I'm going to put my thumb right here and I'm going to push my body weight into that. And I'm going to hold this so that this isn't going to move around. So you want to lean into that with your body weight. Then you're ready to grab the saw. Notice that I have my finger pointed here on the saw. If you do this, your fingers get scrunched up. This is actually designed for 3 fingers here and 1 here. And that 1 finger pointing helps your brain to know where straight is. So this saw is designed so that you don't have to push down very hard. I'm going to move the ruler out of the way so I don't run into it with the saw. So I'm going to line this up right where that line is. And I'm going to very carefully, very lightly, just give it a little push until it starts to cut. There. Once it begins to cut, then you should be able to cut all the way down without pushing very hard. Alright, so there's my first cut. Throw that away. I'm going to move this down, find my line, line up my saw. I'm going to use the entire saw blade as I cut. Alright, so here's my first dowel. Should be exactly 14.5 inches. Not centimeters, 14.5, which it is. And then I would continue on cutting up the other 3 to the same length.